There were more people in that room celebrating Donald Trump's executive order banning trans athletes than there were trans athletes in the United States of America. There are 39 NCAA trans athletes, 39 across every single field, every single sport. Okay? 39 total. There were more people sitting in that room standing behind Donald Trump than there are trans. Jon Stewart kind of touched on this a few days ago, too.
Hi, everybody.
On Trump's trade war, the war on DEI, and the myth of meritocracy.
Welcome. My name is Jon Stewart. Let me tell you, we got a fantastic show for you tonight. We're going to do our program. Later on in the program, we're going to be talking to comedian, writer, director, auteur Mo Amer. That's coming up in a bit.
Unholy Biscuit, thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
But first, if I could have just a moment of your time, let's talk about America's Lord and Savior, Donald Jehoshaphat Trump. They're not booing, they're saying Bruce for no apparent reason. When Trump ran for president, he had an urgent message about the state of our country.
Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. We are a nation in decline. We have to fight for our country, and we have to fight like we've never fought before. It's like we're a giant garbage can.
How dare you? If anything, America is a recycling bin. Useless and made almost entirely of plastic. But that's it. We have to fight to save our country. And now Daddy's home, and he's about to take out the trash. And 2 weeks into the Trump presidency, we have a better sense of the evil and powerful forces that have been dragging our once great nation into decline.
The Trump administration removed transgender references from federal government websites. It now reads LGB instead of LGBT.
I think transphobia aside, one of the lamest things you can do is copy the British. And this is just copying the British. The LGB stuff had no motion in America. It's not like a big demand. The only place where I've actually seen this expressed in like popular discourse was England. And the fact that we are copying England this way is really gross. Like, transphobia aside, it's just completely unacceptable to copy England.
They have no idea the damage tea was doing to our nation. Consonants! Because I think you'll agree with me, there is no T in USA. If you spell it out, obviously, that becomes an issue. And if you want a BLT for lunch, things can get ugly. But nothing will stop America's low T, like no T. What other changes are making us great again?
The Trump administration ordering all gender ideology references be removed, including pronouns and email signatures.
My man, they're just like attacking grammar. This is one of those things that I've always thought was so stupid. Like, I don't have he, him on my profile, I don't think, or maybe I do, but I don't know. You want to know why? Because who cares? Like, it's such a wild thing to just, it's such a wild thing to care about, okay? It is such an insane thing to be upset about. This is the type of thing that you get mad at when you have nothing real to be mad about, okay? Like, you have no challenges in your life, no adversity whatsoever. And this is the thing that you're combating. Ridiculous. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Consonants and pronouns. Your next, prepositions. No more pronouns and email signatures. Good luck signing your emails now, President Xi.
To clarify for chatters, you're saying that being against pronouns in bio is stupid, not the act of having, yeah, like what, why, what, how would this ever be in any way remotely problematic. Like, what? Why does it upset you so much? It's so stupid.
Or should I say President him? Those are just the actions that this president has taken to prove that he's still kind of a dick. But believe me, he hasn't taken his eye off of America's true nation-state enemies.
President Trump is reiterating his threat to, quote, take back the Panama Canal.
Trump suggesting he could use military force to take Greenland.
President Trump had a fiery phone call with Denmark's prime minister, putting the NATO ally in crisis mode.
Denmark, Panama, Greenland, the axis of, where are those? Now, let's.
Felix did a bit where he said Ron DeSantis would be the type of guy to sign a law saying all of Roald Dahl's blackface characters are good. Trump is now bringing that to life. Yeah, I mean, that's precisely what it is. It's just like trying to legislate or trying to mandate that you become unwoke by government dicta. What a stupid thing to do. It's so stupid. I don't understand it. I also don't understand how dumb people can be where they actually look at this stuff and go, based, this is it. This is what the government is doing. Finally, responsive governance, doing the things that I really wanted, the things that I've been demanding. Like, if this is what your interest is, you are such a pathetic loser. Now, of course, this aspect of the conversation is silly. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's a distraction. But there's also serious consequences for trans existence in this country in general. Despite making up a minuscule percentage of the overall public, trans people are definitely under attack in very meaningful ways. Okay? The goal here is to eradicate trans people out of existence. Just like get them out of the public eye, make sure that they cannot get hormone replacement, make sure that they just can't be trans. You know what I mean? That they're forced to exist with the assigned gender at birth. It's completely unacceptable. And they created a permission structure for this kind of attitude by regularly presenting trans people as enemies when they couldn't do it by bathroom bans and things of that nature. They went back to the drawing board and figured out better avenues of attack, talking about how trans people are actually unfairly trying to dominate in the field of sports. That's why Donald Trump signed that executive order. There were more people in that room celebrating Donald Trump's executive order banning trans athletes than there were trans athletes in the United States of America. There are 39 NCAA trans athletes, 39 across every single field, every single sport. Okay? 39 total. There were more people sitting in that room standing behind Donald Trump than there are trans athletes. Sounds like a mental illness? Yes, transphobia is a mental illness. If you are hyperfixated on such a minuscule percentage of the population and it occupies this much space in your mind, yes, you are mentally ill. 100%. I agree. Which one is in the DSM-5? Ironically enough, homosexuality also was in the DSM, so I don't know what you're trying to say about that. Also, yeah, obsessive compulsive is in the DSM-5, and I would imagine conservative fixation would fit into that. Yeah, it is. It is a hyperfixation that is obsessive.
Lest you think that pronouns and Panama were the twin forces shackling America to a prison of national decay, there are also more powerful forces at play in this dangerous world. Some of them closer than what you might have ever imagined.
A new era of trade wars. Trump says tariffs are coming on Canada and Mexico and even the European Union.
What is happening? The EU? Canada? Do we have any friends? I mean, Mexico, I get. Trump's been hate-f***ing Mexico pretty much since the escalator. That's the truth. But Canada? Canada? We're picking a fight with our most reliable and pleasant friend, the Labradoodle of allies? But I guess that's Trump tough. You know what I mean? You got to walk into the prison yard. Walk right up to the one guy who really doesn't seem to be a problem at all. And just, yeah! Take that, best friend, who has willingly signed up to fight in every ridiculous war we've ever gotten into. Let that be a lesson to the rest of the world. We are a terrible friend. Denmark, Panama, and Canada are America. We used to fight the Nazis. Now we're scouring the globe for easy marks? What do we allow? The Jake Paul of nations? I know. Is that what we're doing? No offense.
It's interesting to me that I fear that Jon Stewart in this day and age, I think, has lost a lot of his radical edge. Like, I know that this comes across as like, I don't know, maybe gallows humor or whatever, but I do think that he has dialed it back. I feel like I expect more aggressive commentary from him for sure.
I know China's out there, but Panama's a legitimate fight. In fact, I'm going to call everyone out in FIFA's CONCACAF division. Yeah! Oh, Trinidad and Tobago, you got to gang up, huh? That honestly, like, I can't believe you laughed at a CONCACAF joke. Soccer is back, baby. Look at me getting all skewed in the tie. Now, in Trump's defense, he did explain today why we're going after Canada.
I mean, I look at some of the deals made, I say, who the hell made these deals are so bad?
So bad. The trade deals with Canada, they're so bad. He's just looking and saying, who made these? Ladies and gentlemen, don't get ahead of me. Ladies and gentlemen, for your dining and dancing pleasure, come with me into the Wayback Machine to 2018. I give you the culprit of the terrible deal with Canada.
This morning,
Moscow banned the transphobic song Full with a Hitler salute in his name. I already banned him myself. What are you talking about? Like, I banned him immediately after addressing what he said.
President Trump signed a new trade deal to replace NAFTA with the leaders of Mexico and Canada.
The best trade deal they say ever made.
No! A deal done by Trump's greatest nemesis, Trump. Now, hold on. Deal. All right. But President Trump, this trade war has awoken a sleeping giant. Not Canada, not Mexico, but the Democratic minority Senate leader. Release the Schumer!
It's going to affect beer, okay? Most of it, Corona here, comes from...
He's so cool. Thank God we have the most swagged out. Thank God we have the best orators tasked with obstructing the Republican Party and undermining the Republican Party's agenda. Thank God. Because clearly we learned the lessons from the last 4 years where we had someone manning the helm, manning the ship, that was not a communicator at all because he was dead. He was a cadaver. So I'm glad that the Democratic Party learned from that and said, hey, we mustn't repeat the mistakes, and we must make sure that we have better communicators that will actively undermine the Republican agenda and will do a good job of showcasing what we're doing to the American public at a time when the Democratic Party is historically unpopular.
Mexico. It's going to affect your guac, because what is guacamole made of? Avocados.
Your response to the trade war is to tell us guacamole is made of avocados? Is that what? the people found out, when the people find out the precious Super Bowl dip is comprised of mainly avocado, also tomatoes, sometimes onion, it's a bit much for me, obviously, with the Spilkis and... Excuse me 1 second. Democrats, can you please stop trotting Schumer out there every time Trump traverses into the unreal? He's not good at this. What is the decision-making process here? Hey, who should we get out there to effectively battle one of the most savvy presidential media manipulators in history? Oh, I don't know. How about Schumer? He's uninteresting, but at least he's monotone. Oh, wait. And Chuck, before you go out there, you look too young. Put on these readers and lower them on your nose. Perfect.
It's good. He's right about this.
Honestly, listening to Chuck Schumer speak on almost any topic makes me want to bomb Canada.
Like, if the Democratic Party is supposed to be the party that protects the government and the federal agencies, and it's a big point of divergence from the Republican Party that seeks to undermine federal regulatory agencies, then this is a fantastic opportunity to communicate that message, okay? To show this separation at a time when the Republicans are flooding the market with a sea of misinformation and consistently trying to create propaganda to explain why they must destroy the National Institute of Health, for example, okay? You should be screaming from the rooftops of how devastating this would look like as Donald Trump seeks to undermine it. Even the past couple of weeks of like the aviation disasters that took place is a great opportunity to talk about how the ATC is underfunded, how many of the air traffic towers do not have the necessary resources and the labor power to ensure safety in air travel. It's incredibly important, and they're just not doing that at all. And the overarching Democratic Party response to all of this is we pick our battles and we lay down on the train tracks. That's what he said. That's what Chuck Schumer said. Incredible amounts of messaging opportunities for them, even from the optics front. You know what I mean? Like, even if you want to win, like, I'm putting on my Democratic Party consultant hat for a brief moment and saying, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Kidding, of course, by the way. We have a couple of Canadians here from Montreal, and I don't want to upset them because I'm going to need an apartment soon. Now, before we... Now, before we get rattled by Trump's 2 to 2.5 front trade war, please understand, Mexico has already today received a
Jasmine Crockett? No, she's also not great either.
30-day stay on tariffs by promising 10,000 troops to the border. And we've promised...
Yeah, I saw some stuff that she said that was like... I saw some stuff that she said that made me feel like she is also hitting like rad lib notes rather than a pro-labor attitude. Bro doesn't like anyone law. I mean, yeah. I have criticisms of every single politician, okay, including Bernie Sanders, but I love Bernie Sanders. Okay? She's an opportunist. She has no values with to climb the ranks. Yeah.
To stop the inflow of guns. So, self-invented crisis averted.
If you want me to tell you who I like from the new crop of talent in the Democratic Party, Summer Lee, Greg Kazar, obviously the old guard now of the squad is still pretty solid overall, even though there are mistakes that they make from time to time. They're good. I wouldn't say, I don't know enough about Maxwell Frost. I do know that he went back and forth on Israel related issues, and that's a telltale indicator for me that there are certain lines that a lot of young politicians refuse to cross. And this was when he first won his election. Dog, Greg Kazar is literally not pro-Palestine. What? Yes, this is also an issue. You're absolutely correct on this. Okay, I hear Richie Torres is a good one to watch. Yeah, okay, dude, it's a good one. Greg Kazar has also had some wishy-washy takes on Israel as well, which is again an indicator that you are susceptible to lobbying, an indicator that you are susceptible to not reading the room, right? But at least Greg Kazar has like a strong labor background and also a track record of being not only pro-labor, but like having successes in local in local positions.
But what can Canada do? I'm sure there's an equally performative gesture Canada could make.
What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state.
Mexico, you just sent a few troops to the border. But Canada, if you could, I don't know, cease to exist as an independent entity. Fair? What's that, Mexico? No, there's only 51 states. There's no 52nd. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Washington, D.C.? Yeah, go yourself. All right. What's that, Puerto Rico? No, it's just Canada. I think you know why. Canada. All right. Of course, by the way, since we even were writing this show at like 4 p.m., Trump has already said now he's going to pause the tariff war with Canada as well because...
That's classic Trump. Act like you're going to break something, get a lot of pushback, then say, okay, I'm not breaking the thing that I was going to break, and then turn around and chalk that up as a W to your dumbass fans. Ridiculous. And he did this a lot. He did this so much in his first presidential administration. So it should not be surprising that he's doing it again, like a child.
Of course, it makes sense to wrap up the trade war right now so that we as a country can focus on the biggest thing that's weakening our great nation.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yes. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. MAGA world's blamed this scourge for everything from the fires in California to...
So you think the Gaza thing is in that vein? No, I think the Gaza ownership thing is more nefarious. The Gaza ownership conversation is just also classic Trump, which is saying the quiet part out loud. Democrats would never make the mistake of openly stating that they have a desire to do mass ethnic displacement. They would relegate that to the backroom dealings. They would talk about it behind the scenes, try to urge Egypt to open up the floodgates and move Palestinians into the Sinai Peninsula. That was the reason why I said in my 2024 predictions that that was what was going to happen. Okay? And lo and behold, yes, they did actually actively try to do that, urge Egypt and other states